101. No, not as in room 101. No, not as in wonderful 101, but as in it's been 101 days since I should have uploaded a Tube Squeeze video. And I know, last time I made like, a joke thing about like, oh, it's been a while and I had to associate it with something. And it was the funny sex number laugh thing. And I know. I'm not trying to make a habit of this. It's just I've been busy. I've been like trying to figure things out. I've been trying to sort things. And you know what's happened since last time? I have a new PC. That's what you're seeing this like fancy looking footage on at like 60 FPS and everything cranked up to max and all that. It's great. I've got a new PC now. That's where I've been. And I didn't intentionally make it so that the first thing you would see from me on the new PC in terms of content would be a Tube Squeeze video. If anything, I wanted it to be like new stream scenes, which I'm still working on. But I just needed to do a Tube Squeeze because it's been a while. Things have are slightly calming down a little bit. I just needed to get on. I needed to play Titanfall 2. I needed to stick a microphone in front of my face because it's been a little while since I've done that outside of the context of just talking to people in voice chats and stuff. But yeah, I've got a new PC. It's fantastic. I love it. I call it Lady because it's mostly black and white. And while it's not the best at killing demons, it can do it pretty stylishly. It's got a Ryzen 9 3900X. It's got a 2060 in it. It's got 32 gigs of RAM, 4 terabyte of the hard drive, 500 gigs of SSD. Actually, technically, it's got 5? Yeah, technically it's got 5 terabytes of storage because I've got like an extra little drive, a spare drive. No, sorry, 4.5 terabytes because a mate gave me a spare little hard drive. I think it's a SATA. I think that 0.5 is a SATA. And then the 4 terabytes is just a mechanical one. But yeah, it's a fucking great PC. I'm loving it so far. So far, nothing's really gone wrong with it. Shocker when I replace the parts that were actually faulty. I think I've said this to lots of people, to the people that are going to listen to this already, but just for anyone who isn't in the know. I thought what was wrong with it was, the story with the PC was I got given a faulty SSD. Got that replaced, that was fine. We were still running into issues, and we're like, well, it's not the Windows install then. What could be the issue? We then were left to the conclusion that it was the motherboard, because we did everything except from, like, swap the CPU, because we just couldn't really, at the time. That thought just hadn't, like, occurred to any of us, like me and the two mates that were helping me build it. And then it turns out, no, the motherboard's fine, and I ended up getting a replacement motherboard anyway, because then we were still running into issues. Turns out it was the CPU. Yeah, never buying used again. Yeah, that's I guess that's on me, but at the same time, I thought it would be fine, but I mean, I should have been, like, there were no bent pins on the used one or anything, but still, I should have been like, oh yeah, that should be, it was like, was that the only part that was used that I bought? I think it might have been. I can't think of any other parts that I bought that were used. Yeah. That should have clued me in, but I mean, I was new to it, everything, and I was kind of just hoping for, like, to just like finally get a miracle PC compared to the laptop that I had. So I guess I was just like holding out for a fucking miracle, I guess, in my attempt to save a little bit of money. Because tell you what, a 2060 should not cost £550, but that's how much I had to pay for it. And oh well, who knows? Maybe this time next year I'll end up with a 30 series somehow. Doubt it, but you never know. Either way, yes, that's what the footage is that you're looking at is of glorious 1080p. Looks, it looks how the game should look rather than however the hell it looked on the old videos. You'll probably see what I mean if you just like put both videos up, do like a side by side, mute them, and then just look at the gameplay footage, because I'm pretty sure like the last one that I recorded from this was PC footage. I think maybe like the first 1 or 2 videos from this was PS4, but there was definitely been a few PC footage things on this. But yeah, it's just one of those things though, because at the moment Titanfall is, I'll probably make this a different Tube Squeeze video just to talk about, just because like I don't know, I had the idea of talking about this on like the second channel on CLion Live, just like face the camera and like gameplay footage and that, you know, do like a somewhat proper video of like, you know, have editing in it and all that. But Titanfall 2 is fucking dying thanks to cunt hackers and server DDoSes and all this sort of shit. And fuck me, it's sad because this game has had more resurrections than Christ. Goodness knows it deserves it more than that, dude. Fucking bottom, fucking Messiah getting crucified, bottom energy. Fucking, sorry, I love that joke. I can't help it. I love the joke of like getting. I first heard it on Super Mega. It's the fucking joke of like getting crucified is such bottom energy. I love that line. But yeah, I love this game, and I hope, I doubt it, but I hope EA sorts it out properly rather than just saying no, we're not going to do anything. We don't need to. We have Apex. Fuck you, Titanfall fans. It's like fucking dicks. But yeah. That'll be a thing of its own right, but I bring it up because the next video you might see from me on this channel might not have Titanfall 2 footage. I know most people aren't going to care, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. Because it's getting harder to play this game when it takes an hour to get a single match that doesn't get interrupted. That's not fun. So yeah, you'll probably see other games. I mean, hell, I've got the PC for it. I've had the library for a while, but you know, now that I actually have the capacity to play all that stuff, you'll probably see some, you know, different games for me. And hell, it'll be a good chance to, you know, put out recordings of me trying games for the first time. I might not necessarily talk about the game itself, but you know, I can at least stick up footage of me just like trying stuff in the copious amounts of games that I have in my library. But yeah. I don't know, have you guys got any like games that you like sorely miss in terms of like multiplayer things? I kind of like slightly miss Overwatch on like the first, I want to say 2 months maybe, but like I have no intention of going back to Overwatch, not just because for Blizzard being shitheels, but just the game itself being designed to be just shit, really. I stand by that. Overwatch is like a shit design game in my opinion. Like, it's just awful. I'm not talking about that. Either way, do you guys have like games that you like wish got like some sort of multiplayer games that you wish that got some sort of resurgence? Like, are there any ones that like immediately, like first thing that comes to mind when I say that, you know? Because I know I have friends that will say like certain Call of Duties or certain Battlefields, or I don't know, there's probably one MAG fan out there, probably, right? But yeah, no, I missed out multiplayer stuff pretty much completely growing up because we just didn't have internet, really. When growing up, when we did get internet, it wasn't the kind that I could just easily connect fucking game console to and then just get online or anything. It would be like a slow piece of shit. But now that I have like, you know, decent internet and a PC that can... Now that I have a PC that can run pretty much everything, maybe not necessarily all at max, but it can you know, get a solid 60 or 120 out of most games, I think. I'm looking forward to playing more multiplayer stuff, especially with friends, because that's the trouble with me. I would just say, oh, well, Titanfall 2 is kind of like actively getting fucked with so that I can't play the game. Not even that it's dying, because it's technically been dying for years, but it being actively fucked with and players aren't being allowed to play the game. That's just shit that I can't really do anything against or do anything about. And I would just go to some other multiplayer game, but like I'm not really a massive fan of FPS multiplayer games. The reason I'm a fan of Titanfall 2 is the movement, the gun, like how the guns feel, and like the Titans. That's why I love this game. It's not because it's like, oh, it's another chance for me to see racial epithets in a chat log on screen or anything, or to hear some fucking child be neglected by their parent while they get a fucking 5 KD ratio or anything in the fucking voice chat. It's the actual movement and the moment to moment gameplay is why I love this, not because it's a first person multiplayer game. So I would just jump to some other multiplayer game, but I don't really have one at the moment that I like or even love or anything. I don't know. I've been tempted to try Destiny 2, and I can now with the new PC and that, but I've got so many fucking things I want to play in that. I'm not sure at the moment. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And the reason why I don't really want to do any other multiplayer stuff for this as well is because most of the time when I'm doing multiplayer stuff, I'm playing with friends, and it'll be a bit awkward for the purposes of a Tube Squeeze video if you hear like random voices during the gameplay footage, and I would like to keep the gameplay audio in, because otherwise it's just silence whilst I'm talking, and the brief silences that I have because I'm trying not to edit these things too much become that much more awkward, because it's like, well, there's just dead air, no even like background noise going on, which helps for these kinds of style of videos. So that's something I have to consider. I have learned though there is an OBS plugin I can do that records the gameplay and its audio separately from everything else whilst I'm having it in. I think it records the audio separately. I know it records the footage separately. I'm not sure about the audio. I have to look into that. But that could be a possible solution to this. I could still play games with friends, and I can get Tube Squeeze videos out more regularly and do different games with it, and that could be fun. But I'd have to look into that. But either way, I'm not just going to jump over to like Apex or some of the one Battlefield or Warzone or whatever just because of it. Like, you're more likely to see just some single player stuff, like preferably single player stuff that has very little audio, hence why I'll probably do like Ultra Kill or Doom 2016. I could just like go through the Titanfall 2 campaign and turn like voices down, I guess. Voices and music, I suppose. But I don't know, then I just wouldn't be enjoying myself when I'm recording it as much, which isn't an attractive prospect, because with the multiplayer, there isn't really any music aside from when you're leaving the drop pod. And I think towards like when the match is ending, I don't know, I tend to turn music off because either I stick on a song or it's because I'm doing it for this. I just leave sort of music off. And yeah, it's just one of these things I have to figure out with this now. More things I need to fucking figure out. More things I need to get sorted. Oh god. But yeah, Destiny 2 I guess could be an option sometime in the future, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm in the right headspace to get into a different first-person shooter game, especially one that's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's getting harder for people to recommend. If anything, Volk has told me like now is the time to start getting in on it because there's some new season thing. I don't know. I'm also kind of hesitant about Destiny 2 because the first and last time I tried it was on launch, and the structure of go to A, shoot things, go to B, shoot more things, go to C, shoot things, okay, job done, do it all over again, was boring. And like, as much as the environment design was cool and very, very artsy and very nicely designed and lovely to look at, it was just boring gameplay wise. And like visually as well, because like you don't get really any chance, or I don't know if it's different now, but you didn't get any chance to really customize the look of your dude or really like pick what kind of weapons you wanted to use, because you just sort of had to use the best that was available to you, even if you had like a preference of shotguns over assault rifles, or I don't know, automatic pistols over revolvers. I don't even know if Destiny has automatic pistols. But yeah, it's just one of those things I have to figure out. I'll try experiment with what gameplay stuff I'm showing here. But yeah, long story short is I haven't gone anywhere. I've just been busy with this new PC stuff, figuring things out. I am still making stuff on it for myself, and I'm hoping to get a more long-term editing gig out of it. There's, again, just more stuff I need to sort out. Getting the fucking internet in my house the modem is at the other end of the house, like in comparison to where my room is. So I need a booster and extender, but the one we have kills the download speeds just getting it to me, and it sucks. So I need to look into that. That's going to be like a massive pain in the ass, but either way, I need to sort that. There's lots of things I need to sort. But yeah, no, if anyone has any like specific topics they'd like me to talk about, or any questions you think would be good for this kind of thing, anything at all, you can either leave it in the comment, at me on Twitter, or put it in the Discord, or email me at tubesqueeze@pm.me. This is Dom, and it's good to be back again, and I hope you all have a fantastic evening, morning, or whatever. Later.